The project is organized as an npm workspace Monorepo, one root folder with two packages inside: client for React and server for Express. The root package.json has a single npm rundev command that starts both servers at the same time using a tool called concurrently. So one command boots the entire system. Going into the backend, we can start from the data layer. So this is the Mongoose schema. It defines exact shape every to-do must have, a title which is required and has a max length of 200, and optional description which has a max length of 1000, and done boolean that defaults to false. Also there is the timestamp option automatically adds created at and updated at with no manual work needed. Server.js is the entry point. It reads environment variables first from here, and it connects to MongoDB, and then only it starts listening for requests. If the database connection fails, the whole process exits. There is no point running an API with no database. So app.js is the express setup. It mounts cause, JSON, parsing, and the to-do routes. So going into the to-do routes, so going into the to-do routes, the root file is the API menu. It defines 5 endpoints: get to fetch all to-dos, pause to create, put to update, patch to toggle done status, and delete to remove. Each route runs a validate middleware before hitting the controller, so invalid data never reaches the database. So going to the to-do controller, the controllers are so these are the controllers. Controllers are thin, and each one does exact one thing. So if I go to like toggle done, instead of hard coding a value, it fetches the to do first, then flips done to its opposite. This keeps the toggle safe even if the user clicks twice quickly. Every error is passed to next error, so the global error handler manages all the responses consistently. So let's go to the front end. So in this in the Vite config.js file, the Vite configuration has a proxy. Any request to API gets silently forwarded to localhost 5000. This means the React app never hard-codes a server URL, and there are zero cause issues in development, because cause issues are main error that comes when you are creating app that front end runs in a one local host and backend runs in another local host. So this addresses that error. Then move into Axios client. So this is the Axios client, a pre-configured HTTP instance. It has one response interceptor. If any request fails, it extracts a clean error message before passing it up. So the rest of the app always get a simple string, never a raw Axios error object. Going to the to-do API JS, and This is the API module, 5 clean functions, 1 per endpoint. Components never import Axios directly, they only call these functions. If I ever swap Axios for the native fetch, only this one file changes and nothing else in the app breaks. So talking about state management, the hooks and context, I have used the hook use TODOs. This is the use TODOs hook I use. It is a custom React hook that owns all the state, the list of to-dos, loading state and errors. It also owns every operation, add, edit, toggle, delete, and the main thing it has is optimistic updates. So if I go to the delete to do, here. So if I go to the delete to do, it first saves a snapshot of the current list to the previous, and immediately removes the item from the screen, then fires the API call. If the server responds with success, it is done and we can continue. If it fails, it will restore the to do from the previous that we initially saved it to, and it will show the error. So UI will feel very instant because it will instantly uh, delete the to do without waiting for the network. So going to the context, to avoid prop drilling, I use the hook is this called context provider, which sits at the top of component tree. Every component that needs to do data calls use to do context to read from it, so there will be no prop drilling or no passing data through 5 layers of components. So going for the components, uh, to do item, yes, this is the to do item. Each to do item is rendered by to do, each to do is rendered by to do item. Two things uh, mainly can be pointed. The delete is 2 step. So as you can see, first when I click it, when the user click once, it changes the button to sure and alarms a 3-second timer. Here you can see that, and if the user click the sure button within the 3-second timer, it will delete, and if he doesn't, it will go to the initial state. So wrapping up the coding side, to summarize the architecture, MongoDB stores the data, Mongoose defines its shape, and Express controls read and write it. The roots define how to reach those controllers. Axios calls those roots from the front end. The use to-dos hook manages state and optimistic updates. Context shares the state across the entire component tree, and the components just display whatever they receive. Each layer has one job, and they all loosely connected. They are all loosely connected, which makes the whole system easy to reason about and maintain.